Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. Today, everybody, in this class, we are looking at an IELTS reading. This is an academic IELTS reading passage, but you could get a similar kind of passage for section 3 of the general IELTS. This reading passage topic will be reasons to study philosophy. Now, this is the third passage, I believe, from this exam, so it's a bit challenging, and I will show you tips and strategies on how to effectively read and answer questions for this kind of reading. This reading will include, it looks like this, I'll show you. And this reading will include a list of headings questions, which are quite popular. They appear on basically every single academic IELTS exam, as well as some general IELTS exams also, especially for section 3. And then we'll have a complete the summary type question and some multiple choice type questions. Now, everybody, this is a members chat class. So to join the chat, you need to be a channel member. Welcome, Fuang. Hi, Angel. Good to see our moderator, Carolina, in the class. Hi, Romelia. Nice to have you all on board. Students, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com, where we have lots of materials, practice exams, reading audio even for you to prepare for your exam. This is our general IELTS, this is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. You can click this big red button that's just right above my head there to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and it doesn't cost a lot. It costs less than the subscription models of many other IELTS companies. Our goal here is to help as many students as possible around the world. We have been helping students in IELTS for the last 15 to 20 years. We are an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent. You are in very good hands with us for your IELTS studies. Hi, Anahita. Welcome to the class. Students, for general IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com. It's the green background here. And again, just click that big red button that's just right there. Again, it is a one-time payment. We don't believe in subscription models, and you get lifetime access. You can use the code DRIVE9 for an additional 10% discount. You complete the checkout, and you're ready to go. The course varies slightly in price in different countries to make it more accessible to help more students. So check out the cost locally. It ranges from around $30 to $50 US, so not a lot. Students, websites are accompanied by apps. Our apps are Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help, Academic IELTS Help links to aehelp.com, General IELTS Help links to gieltshelp.com. And we have lots of great blogs on those websites as well to help you, which are free for everyone. This blog is to do with tips for reading. So I'm trying to match the topic of the class with the blog these days, as I'm sure you've noticed. Check out that blog. Those blogs are extremely useful. When people read them, they're always amazed, and we get some really interesting comments about how useful they find these blogs. Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp, GIELTS Help. Welcome, Amra. It's good to see you in the class. Nice to have you working together with Carolina to assist and make the class more useful and productive. That's great. Welcome, Hathu, to our group of members. Nice to have you join us. Make sure to send me an email to get those exclusive videos. Hathu, the email address where you want to just send a quick message and say, I just became a member, Adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. If anybody has questions, comments, just send us an email. We are happy to get communications and respond to you within 24 hours or so. Students, you can get physical books from Amazon, so you can order our IELTS exam books from Amazon. I don't recommend it. We live in 2023. Resources are limited. We should be paying attention to minimizing the use and waste of paper. But if some of you really find it much more effective to learn from a paper book, then you can get our exam books in paperback from Amazon with those titles. Students, so we've got reading right now for this live class. This is our schedule from the 15th to 16th, which means today and tomorrow. This class will be followed by a task 1 writing class. That is going to be a table that was sent to us by one of our members, I believe, maybe about a week or two ago. And they were asking to have a class and show an example of how to respond to writing a task 1 academic essay for a table. So that will be the next class that's coming up in about 90 minutes or so. And that will be a subscribers chat class. So to join that chat, you will need to subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is a good idea. It's free. And you get notifications about live classes and lots of other useful materials. Then Saturday, tomorrow, we'll have speaking part 2 for members, and we'll have speaking part 3 where everybody is welcome to join the chat. Of course, you're always welcome to watch and learn, even if you are not able to participate. Students, the video that we put up recently is this one here. It's a good one. Ghazi, good to have you here. Yes, long time no see. It's nice to have you in the class and to see you. It's fantastic. There you go. Amr just said the same thing. Good to see you, Ghazi. I hope life is treating you and your family well. Students, we'll look at reading strategies today, and we'll look at strategies for those questions that I just showed you, like list of headings, summary completion, multiple choice. So list of headings. And we'll start with list of headings. List of headings are the only questions in the reading section to appear before the reading passage. There's a good reason for that. The IELTS examiners, myself included, think that it is a good idea for you to look at those questions before the passage. Why? Why do you think that is? There's a couple of reasons. So list of headings. These are the only questions given before the passage. And you should review them before you read the passage. That's why they're given before the passage. Why do you think? Anahita says because they are paraphrased. Not really, Anahita. I mean, most questions are paraphrased in the IELTS, right? That's the nature of the exam. That's how they test you, is they paraphrase those questions. So that's not really the reason. All questions are more or less paraphrased. Yeah, Amra says one of the reasons is to understand what I'm going to read about. Exactly. So list of headings questions identify or seek to identify the topics of each paragraph. So a quick review can give you a good idea of the content of the passage. Yep, that's definitely one of the reasons. Now, the other reason is a little bit trickier, but some of you who have been in these live classes regularly, maybe you'll be able to figure out the second reason to read list of headings questions before the passage. So Carolina, you kind of have the same answer as Amra, which is great. Yes, that's support, right? It's when you have the same kinds of answers as the student next to you, as your peer, it gives you some confidence that you're on the right page. Okay. All right. What's another reason? There's actually one other really good reason to look at list of headings questions before you do the reading passage. Anybody know what that is? Okay, here I'll spoil the fun, so I'll just tell you in this case. These are the only questions that you should be answering while you read the passage. Okay, so the list of headings questions you want to answer while you read the passage. Every other kind of question in the IELTS exam, ideally, you are answering after you read the passage. Okay? So it doesn't matter if it's true, false, not given, multiple choice, matching information to paragraphs, or any of the other 10 different types of questions that you can see in the IELTS reading passage. Every other type of question you should answer after you read the passage. Okay, so that is a big reason to review the list of headings before you start your reading. So your first step, you see the passage. This is our passage today. Your first step is always to, well, look at the picture if you have one. Here we have a statue of a Greek philosopher. Now, if you don't know who that is, don't worry about it. Just realize that it's something about history, right? Some interesting concept about history. Then you look at the title. Why study philosophy? So this is a question title. Anytime you have a question title, you should think about the answer. That's why it's a question title. So question titles, think about the answer. Okay, and think about what you know. So here the question is, why study philosophy? What do you think? What's your answer? Why would somebody want to study philosophy? Now, for some of you who are not sure, like, what is philosophy? The definition of philosophy, and this might help you with the answer as well. So the definition of philosophy is to identify questions that are important or seem important for humanity, and to discuss or dispute the possible rational answers or solutions to these questions. So that would be, you know, I think there's probably a few different ways to define philosophy, but I think this is a good one here. So the definition of philosophy is to identify questions that are important or seem important for humanity, and to discuss or dispute the possible rational, logical answers or solutions to these questions. Okay. Why would we want to discuss or why would we want to learn philosophy? Romelia says to gain an insight into profound issues. Okay, sure. So to gain insight into a profound issues. Now, always give an example, Romelia, like the meaning of life, right? What is life? Why are we here? So to gain insight into profound issues like the meaning of life, sure. What else? Why else? Angel says to understand what is life and its purpose. Okay, well, hopefully many of you, especially those of you who are already in university, have learned that philosophy is the father of all science. Why is this a commonly accepted truth? So why do we commonly accept that philosophy is the father of all science? Okay, there's a reason for that. Okay. Because, hopefully you know this, philosophy is the first approach to a systematic and logical understanding of the world around us. It is based on empirical evidence. What we are able to observe and sense. Observe, sense, and measure. Okay? So philosophy is considered the father of all science. I hope that everybody has at some point learned that. And this is why a lot of majors do require students to take at least one course in philosophy, whether it's an introduction to philosophy or another first-year course. For me, for psychology, I took a course in philosophy of aesthetics, so understanding the nature of beauty and what is the meaning of beauty and what people consider beautiful. It was one of the most interesting courses that I had taken in my university career. Philosophy of aesthetics. It was quite amazing. And even if in your major you do not need to take a philosophy course, I highly recommend for many of you, if you have the chance for an elective to take a philosophy class, take a philosophy class. It will help your thinking and your approach to different situations and challenges in life. So I highly recommend a course in philosophy. Okay, so philosophy is the father of all science, arguably. So when you think about these ideas as you're getting into a reading passage, they will help you to understand the passage. Okay, let's go back to a list of headings here, everyone. So here's our list of headings. And list of headings, as we just said, okay, A, look at them before you read the passage. B, answer these questions while you're reading the passage. It makes a lot of sense to do it that way. You'll see why. And then and the next step, especially at home, is to paraphrase these possible answers so that you have more understanding of the passage, and also so you might be able to catch the meaning a little bit better, because again, it's using paraphrasing the reading. Paraphrasing means synonyms, different words with the same meanings, or grammar, or a definition of some ideas, okay? Angel, it's not too complicated, all right? You never ever want to approach. So that's and students often get that. Angel, I think that's a really good point to emphasize here. Okay, so you should. This is a good point to take a moment on. So you should never get hung up on a reading passage or test element thinking this is way too hard, or I have no idea. Your brain is an amazing quantum supercomputer. It's capable of much more than we can even imagine. Okay, so that's what you should always be thinking about. So you should never start that way. Usually, or often, keep this in mind, often at least one passage in the IELTS seems to surprise the candidate. Okay? There's usually one passage, especially in the academic I'm talking about right now. General, maybe not. I think that's one of the bigger differences. If anything, in the general, it's going to be the section 3 passage, but definitely in the academic, there always seems to be this one passage that kind of is like, what? What do I need to read about? Why am I reading about this? And Carolina says, true. Yeah, it's not by accident. Students, it's not that they want to be mean. It's not like, haha, we're going to get them with this difficult topic today. So they're not, it's not like an evil cabal of a secret IELTS exam making society that's thinking about these difficult topics to surprise you. There's a reason for that. Okay, so there's a reason they do that. So often there's this passage that surprises people. The reason for this is they are testing for Band 8 and 9 candidates who are planning to work or study to be doctors and lawyers, and these people need to be able to manage novel meaning new, and surprising situations effectively in English, right? Okay, so IELTS has a purpose, it has a reason, okay, and it's a thinking exam. That's why there are two versions, an academic and a general. And that the reason for that one kind of surprising topic is because they're testing to see who is Band 8, who is Band 9. If somebody is planning to do a master's, a PhD, or is planning to work in a company or in a place where they need a Band 8, Band 9, that requires that exceptional thinking about new situations in English, then they're able to do that, right? So that's why it's there. Does that make sense, everybody? Malad, Constellation, Fong, does it make sense why they would have that one surprising passage? Like, oh, here's a topic that you might not be familiar with, and let's see how you deal with it in English, right? So the best response, okay, to a surprising or seemingly difficult topic is to follow strategy. Okay, that's what experts do. They have their system, they stick to the system, okay? And this is the system here. So you go to, thank you, I see the thumbs up there by everybody. So you go to the list of headings and it says reasons as the basis for knowledge, okay? So reason, here I would say reason as the foundation for information or for understanding. Okay, this would be my paraphrase to that possible list of headings. The relation between reason and math, the connection between reason and arithmetic. Now, paraphrase with me, members, so as you see what I'm doing, try to get ahead and try to paraphrase with me, okay? The end goals of empirical pursuits. So the final purpose of the scientific method. As I just said, empirical methods are basically the scientific method, okay? Is Socrates man or mortal? Is Socrates a male or a living being? Okay, so that would be my paraphrase there. And again, students, paraphrase with me. If you have a different way, by all means, I encourage it. Okay. Philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth. So philosophy as the study for gaining understanding of reality, right? So that would be my paraphrase there. Okay. Now, some of you are probably thinking, how is he doing it that fast? Well, it's just a matter of practice, right? I've had a lot of practice paraphrasing and figuring out different ways to say the same ideas. Hathu says philosophy as the goal of intelligence and truth. I like it, huh? Yeah, absolutely. So Ha used the word goal instead of pursuit and intelligence instead of knowledge in this case. Absolutely. Math versus reason. So math or arithmetic as different from a reason. Okay, that would be my paraphrase there. Using the right tool, finding the right method. Okay. A central debate in education, a fundamental argument in pedagogy. Pedagogy is another way to say pedagogy. I'll figure that out. But anyway, pedagogy, there we go, is another way to say education. Okay. Pedagogy, education. Pedagogy is a very scientific way to say education. The lack of practicality as philosophy's downfall. The absence of the utility of philosophy as its undoing. Okay, downfall means demise or undoing, like the end of it, right? As you're hearing me say new vocabulary and explain these, make sure you write it down. So when you hear me say, for example, undoing is the same as downfall, or demise is a nice piece of vocabulary there. Make sure to write those down. So write down downfall, undoing, demise. Learn as much as possible. Romelia, shortcoming is okay. However, it's not quite the same as downfall. Downfall means like it finishes, it ends. Shortcoming means it's incapable, or it's inability. It's not quite the same as downfall. So just keep that in mind. Okay, we often do kind of use it that way, but it's not the same. The value of education in practice. So the worth of pedagogy in application. Sure. Purity as beauty, perfection as aesthetic. Okay. So at home, I paraphrase these list of headings, and then I even review them. So I go through them. List of headings. Reasons as the pursuit for knowledge, reason as the foundation for understanding, and then I read them and I review them. Okay. Now, I look at the other questions and I see if I can get a little bit more help. So here it's complete the summary using the list of words A to K. I'm not concerned about the list of words because I don't know them. I don't know what is correct, wrong, extra. So I don't worry about the list of words. I just nice and quickly kind of skim over this question. I know it's going to be all in the paragraph somewhere, so it will help me to get a bit of an idea. I realize it's also paraphrased using synonyms and other words. Here we go. So philosophy teaches us how to reason. Good. There's a really good piece of information right away, right? Philosophy teaches us how to reason. Now, if I don't know the meaning of reason, or if I just know one definition of reason, like the reason for, so cause and effect, that's okay, all right? It's connected, okay? So here, just so you learn this definition, it's very important before we start our reading. The word reason here is used a little bit differently than what you're used to, okay? So I guess that most people know the definition of reason as the cause, right? Okay. Now here, what's important is that you understand the noun reasoning. Okay, and this is a good definition of reason to understand. Most upper intermediate advanced English speakers will know this definition. Okay, so reasoning. Okay, reasoning means to figure out the logical causality for a situation. I'll give you an example. By looking at the gray clouds and feeling the low air pressure, it stands to reason that it will rain at some point during the day. Okay, just repeat that after me so you understand this second part of reason. Okay, and whenever you're writing an example to help you remember it better, make it personal. So I live in the city of Victoria, so I will add in Victoria. Okay, so by looking at the gray clouds in Victoria and feeling the low air pressure, it stands to reason that it will rain at some point during the day. So I should bring an umbrella with me, right? Okay. Everybody good? Stands to reason. By looking at the gray clouds in Victoria and feeling the low air pressure, it stands to reason that it will rain at some point during the day. So I should bring an umbrella with me. Okay, good. All right. So the meaning of reason, okay, it's an important one, right? So let's read this together. Philosophy teaches us how to reason, which in turn can help us deconstruct something. Students schooled in the precepts of reason are able to differentiate between an argument which follows from the given premises and one that does not and is something. Force of opinion has no impact on the something of the opinion. This is because forcefulness is the wrong something for the job of convincing someone of a viewpoint. In physical battles, the correct implement is something. In discursive arguments, it is something alone which leads to the truth. All right, now multiple choice, just review the questions, paraphrase them. Mathematics and reason are. What differentiates philosophy from the sciences is that. Okay, fine. Good. So we have those. This, by the way, this is passage 2. I'm just realizing. Now, after we've done all of this, and in the real exam, this is happening nice and fast. So you're looking at the title, you're thinking about what could be the answers, you're paraphrasing the questions in your head, you're reading through them, and then you take about 8 to 10 minutes to read the passage. Okay? Now, the passage, you can listen to the reading from our website. So again, here's that beautiful website, everybody. We can go here to join our premium IELTS package. You can also join by using Shopify through YouTube, clicking on the courses. It's a one-time payment. You get lifetime access. Then when you go into your My Student account, in one of the sections, you find the audio CDs along with all of these other great features. By the way, everybody, look at this brand new button that we've added this week. We are going to be hosting live classes starting in October on the websites as well. So getting exciting. Okay. Ghazi, reasoning and logically understanding, it is very similar. It's a good question. Ghazi is asking, is reason kind of the same as logic? Yes, absolutely. Okay. All right. So here we find the right audio track, and we're going to do the reading together with this British reader. We're one of the only IELTS companies, maybe the only IELTS company that actually offers the reading audio for learning. It's very effective. You don't have this in the real test, but for learning at home, it's very effective. So you will see in your full course materials that you have instructions where you can find it. Here, you can see that the audio is located as CD3 track 6. Okay, so on the website, we find CD3, track 6, and we read with
Why
this
study
person.
philosophy? There are two schools of thought when it comes to education. One side believes that education should give students tools for success in life, while the other side believes that education itself is an important goal.
No area of study
brings this debate to a head more than the study of philosophy.
Philosophy, for those who belong to the practical side of the debate, is an utter waste of time. Philosophy provides very few tools for success in life, they say. A common question for someone studying philosophy is, what are you going to do with it? Those on the other side of the debate, those who value education for knowledge itself, can see that the study of philosophy has many important benefits.
The word philosophy derives from the Greek for love of wisdom. Just as it was in ancient Greece, it is those people who love wisdom, knowledge, and truth who study philosophy. However, we do not live in ancient Greece, where people had slaves to do all of their chores, such as working in the fields. So what place does philosophy have in today's society? If philosophy teaches anything, it teaches the ability to reason. With reason, one can construct, analyze, and find faults in arguments. For example, if all men are mortal and Socrates is mortal, is Socrates a man? What if we change the question to, if all men are mortal and Socrates is a man, is Socrates mortal? Once a student is schooled in the ability to reason, he will see right away that these two questions are very different. As it turns out, the first is an invalid argument, while the second is very much valid. Perhaps the next question of the skeptic is, what is the value of reason? This is a very important question. Surely, if philosophy is all about learning to reason, then an ability to reason must be a valuable trait. Arguably, the ability to reason forms the foundation for all knowledge. If an individual holds an opinion which is believed wrong or incorrect, it could be important to convince them of the right opinion. There are a number of ways to attempt this. They can be intimidated, belittled, or bullied into accepting the opposite opinion. However, having a strong opinion does not mean the opinion is any more correct. Many people have strong opinions on all manner of subjects, but of course strength of feeling does not correspond to validity, and it follows that someone who belittles another's opinion is not necessarily the one in the right. When two men engage in a fist fight over whose opinion is correct, the winner of the fight may not have the correct opinion, but merely the correct fighting technique. In any disagreement, the right tools must be employed. In a battle of brawn, the tool is strength. In a battle of wills, the tool is perseverance. In a battle of words, the tool is reason. When arguing with reason, facts of the matter are stated and conclusions are drawn from those facts accordingly. Reason is fundamental to almost every intellectual endeavour one can imagine, just as mathematics is fundamental to almost every scientific endeavour. Maths is the language of science, just as reason is the language of discourse and debate. Accordingly, just as society needs experts in mathematics, so society needs experts in reason. The argument should follow that as we all learn mathematics as children and young adults, so we should learn the precepts of reason. Above all, philosophy is pure. Certainly reason is useful in all areas of life, but that does not mean that philosophy's value lies only in its usefulness in the day-to-day. Philosophy is the pursuit of knowledge for the sake of knowledge. There is a beautiful human quality expressed in this. Every other academic discipline is knowledge for some empirical pursuit. For example, engineering is knowledge so that we can construct buildings. Chemistry is knowledge so that we can make drugs, and biology is knowledge so that we can stay healthy. Philosophy has no tangible outcome outside of the pure pursuit of knowledge. The only other discipline which comes close in this regard is mathematics. One is purity in numbers, and the other is purity in words.
Excellent, everyone, excellent. I hope you were all reading. Let me just stop the audio on the website. And now what we'll do, everyone, is we will answer these questions together. So I will get volunteers from our members and our viewers to read and solve these questions. I will guide you. We will work together, and I will show you how these strategies are used exactly that we talked about for list of headings. So to volunteer for reading, what I would like you to do is go to aehelp.com. Carolina has kindly put the instructions into the chat. So go to aehelp.com. That's your first step. Again, like I said, we use these websites to power these live classes. They contain our materials. So to be very effective, just join that premium version of the course. Do yourself a favor. Once you're in the website here, in the right-hand column, you have our interactivity tools. You have the student partner speaking there. Okay, when you click on the student partner speaking, you'll get a pop-up bubble that asks you to accept the terms of using the speaking functions, whereby you give agreement that you will be polite. You're using this for study purposes. So you click yes, and then you will find yourself among a lovely group of students. Here is Manikanta, who's a premium student, Milad, who's a premium student, Anna, Thu. Hi, is that you there? Thu, if yes, you can volunteer. Okay, there's Constellation, our member, who's volunteering already. So the way you volunteer and get this little orange number is by sending me a message. You're going to see me here as master, and then you simply click the blue envelope that's next to my handle and send me a message like saying, I'd like to volunteer. Okay, Constellation, if you're there, I'm just going to give you a call, and I'm guessing you're volunteering, and you just did, so. Okay.
Hi, sir.
How are you today, Constellation?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm doing good as well. Constellation, currently you're in Vietnam, right?
Yep.
And you're in university, correct?
Yeah.
What year of university are you in?
I'm in the last year.
Of your bachelor's?
Yeah.
So you're in your fourth year, I would imagine, right?
Yep.
It's usually considered the fourth year. What is your major again, Constellation?
My major is international business.
International business. Did you take any philosophy classes while you were in your university, or while
Yes,
university?
I did in my first year.
Okay, so you did. What was it? Was it Introduction to Philosophy?
No, actually, it was something about. To be honest, I don't remember anything because I don't love it.
You have to. I know. It's interesting. People are not. That's a funny answer. Fair enough. But I'm sure that you gained a lot from it. Yeah, so the point I wanted to show with this is that what I was saying earlier in the class about how philosophy is such an important part of university. Most or many universities for sure will make at least one philosophy course mandatory for most majors. And in international business, I could talk to you about that for hours, about how philosophy can be very, very powerful in business for sure. So anyhow, all right, Constellation, let's do a bit of reading. So we're going to focus on the list of headings questions. I'm going to start off with the start, of course, the beginning of the reading passage. So I'll get you to read the title and the introductory paragraph A whenever you're ready.
Yes, sure. So, why study philosophy? A. There are two schools of thought when it comes to education. One side believes that education should give students tools for success in life, while the other side believes that education itself is an important goal. No area of study brings this debate to a head more than the study of philosophy. Philosophy, for those who belong to the practical side of the debate, is an utter waste of time. Philosophy provides very few tools for success in life, they say. A common question for someone studying philosophy is, what are you going to do with it? Those on the other side of the debate, those who value education for knowledge itself, can see that the study of philosophy has many important benefits.
Absolutely. Okay, so for everybody out there, when you're doing list of headings questions, while you're reading, you should be visualizing, you should be thinking what, why, how. You should always be thinking about what a paragraph is about. So here, Constellation, you just want to ask yourself, what is this introductory paragraph mainly about? Can you just repeat that question after me? What is this introductory paragraph mainly about?
What is the introductory paragraph mainly about?
Okay, and then the goal of good thinking here is to answer that question clearly without missing or leaving out important points, but concisely, so in a short way. So answer that question, Constellation. What is this introductory paragraph mainly about?
So it is the introduction of a debate about whether or not to study philosophy.
Okay. I think you kind of put your own spin on it a little bit, but that's okay. You still have most of it, and it's going to be enough to answer the list of headings questions. The difference between IELTS or, for example, a second or third year university class test is that in IELTS, if you're fairly close to the answer, you can get the answer right. In university, once you get to higher levels, you have to be even more accurate. So here you're okay. For the IELTS, it's okay. It is the introduction to a debate about whether or not to study philosophy. Ask me the same question, Constellation.
You mean that I repeat the question?
Yeah, ask me the question. What is this introductory paragraph mainly about? Ask me the question.
Okay. What is this introductory paragraph mainly about?
It is about two opinions regarding philosophy. One, which believes it's useful. The other, which feels it doesn't have a real world application. Okay. Now, in the real world, I would now think about how I can make that more concise, but that's what I think it's about. For anybody out there who's studying reading for the IELTS with partners, I think a lot of people just study reading by themselves and not with partners. Constellation, have you ever studied reading with a partner?
No, I haven't.
Okay, and it's common. Yeah, so your answer doesn't surprise me. I think most students out there, when they read, they just read by themselves. Everybody kind of sees reading as like a, or I shouldn't say everybody, I should say most people. Most people see reading as like a solo adventure, right? So when you sit down to read a book, it's you, the book, and that's it. Maybe a blanket, right?
Yep.
Okay, which is okay. It's okay, right? But really, reading, and especially when we're learning from reading, it's good to do in partners. So you know how there are reading groups and reading clubs. The same idea when you're studying, right? So if you're reading with a partner, there are a lot of interesting questions that you can ask each other. So rather than just asking yourself this question, you can ask me like I just did, right? And then we can see if our answers match. Anyway, Constellation, you have the answer. So you said it is the introduction to a debate about whether or not to study philosophy. Okay, so mine was a little bit different. I just said that philosophy has a general utility versus it is useless in the real world. Okay, so that was kind of my take on it, right? Okay, so find the heading that matches the closest to your answer. And this is the trick to getting these list of headings answers correct, is you think about the answer, what it's about, and then you find the closest match. So can you see the closest match here, which one it is? 1 to 11. If you read it, you don't need to read the underlined parts necessarily, just read the ones that are the exam questions. So reasons as the basis of knowledge, the relation between reason and math, the end goals of empirical pursuits, is Socrates man or mortal, philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth, maths versus reason, the differences, using the right tool, a central debate in education, the lack of practicality as philosophy's downfall, the value of education and practice, purity as beauty. Which one do you think it is?
I think it's the 8th.
Central debate in education?
Yeah.
It's with confidence, Constellation. Yes, it is. All right, I agree with you. Yeah, it is. It is number 8, and that is the correct answer. Okay, so Roman numeral 8. There are a couple other ones that look like they could be correct, right? Like the value of education and practice looks like it could kind of be correct. Why is it not that one, Constellation? Why is it not this one, the value of education in practice?
I didn't see any explanation about the utility of education in practice. They only introduced the concept of the debate. So yeah, I think it's not the answer.
Right. In some sense, you're correct. It's only partial too, right? So this would only look at half of the argument or half of what the introduction is saying, not the other half. So not the impracticality of philosophy and education or impracticality of education. So this is just a kind of a half measure. So that's what you have to be careful about in these list of headings. You have to make sure you're not making a choice that only gives half of the answer. That's one of the common mistakes. The other one is it's too much detail or it's off topic. Okay. All right, Constellation, that was really good. Thank you for being my first volunteer today.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity.
And maybe give philosophy another opportunity, Constellation.
Yeah, sure. I will read some Stoicism books.
Yeah, there's actually some really good books out there, and this is for everybody. There's some really good books out there that connect philosophy to business, and I bet even international business. So if you have a chance, take a look at that, International Business Philosophy. You might find some really interesting and useful information out there. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bye, Constellation.
Bye, sir.
All right. Good job, Constellation. Thumbs up. All right, let's take another volunteer. Let's take a premium student here. Again, pay special attention to these premium student badges, everybody, because that means that they are usually here. Thu, I see you there. Hang in there. Okay, Milad, are you ready? Let's take Milad. Hopefully we can connect. Always hang in there, students, because some people leave, some people, their computer doesn't work, they lose their internet, so I need lots of volunteers. Hello, Milad. Victoria, Canada to Milad. Are you there, Milad? Check your connection, Milad. Check your audio, check your microphone. Make sure it's enabled. Make sure you have a good connection going on. Milad, I don't hear you. I will circle back to you as long as you figure out what's going on your end. Test it with another person. Thu, are you ready? Hopefully Thu is there. This is Thu, I believe. Our newest addition to our group of members just in this class. Thu, if you're there, let me know. And we'll go over a paragraph together. There's always a I think it's a 6-second delay with ultra low latency in YouTube live stream. So give it a moment, everyone, for Thu to recognize that I'm sending a message out there. Thu, if you're there. Thu says, I have a problem. I see that, Thu. You're not responding. What is the problem? You have to figure that out. Okay. Let's jump a little bit lower to the list here. Let's check out Aman. Ghazi, I see you there as well. Aman, are you ready? Okay. I'm always going to send a message just to make sure that you're there. Aman, if you're there, let me know. And then we'll jump right in. You can't see me. Keep in mind that video audio can only be used in one location. So if you're using through the website, make sure you mute YouTube. Okay. Hi, Aman. Aman. I can hear you. I'm sure we have a good connection because I can hear the connection is made, but I just don't hear you. I think you have to check your microphone. Make sure your microphone is enabled on the website. It's definitely something with your microphone set up because I can hear the connection. So check the equipment, students, when you're volunteering for these live classes. Make sure you have the right microphone selected. Make sure it's enabled. I'm just giving Aman a second here to see if hopefully he can figure out what's going on with the microphone. Make sure if you're using one of those wireless headsets that your batteries are charged. I've seen a lot of times people do that where they're like, oh, my headset battery just died. Aman, definitely something with your microphone. I have no question that it's a microphone issue on your end. Check your microphone. Okay. All right. Let's talk to Ghazi. Ghazi, are you there? I think some of your peers are excited or interested to hear what you have been up to. Ghazi, if you're there, give me a sign. Ghazi has been a student with us for, I would say, maybe about a year, Ghazi, but you might correct me, it might be longer. And Ghazi is also in Canada, just on the other side if he hasn't moved yet.
Hello, Adrian.
Hi, Ghazi, how are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm doing great. It's good to hear your voice, Ghazi.
Yeah, thank you. Me too. Yeah, for a long time actually. And I had a long story actually. So you wondering why he is gone. And I'm studying nursing as a nurse here in Newfoundland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the beginning, I prepared for IELTS with you for a long time, but then they advised me to go to do another approach. It's called Selban, if you know what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a specialty approach for nursing. So, yeah, when I did it, Selban, then I started studying with Selban. They accept me to do some courses.
Mm-hmm.
I did about 6 courses so to get my license as a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, finally they said no, in order to get your registrations, you get your license, you need IELTS.
Yes.
So that's why I'm here again.
So you're back. You know, there's a wisdom in this, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's true.
Here's a kind of a weird but true saying: all roads lead to IELTS. Your situation has happened a lot with many other people that I have taught, Ghazi, where they go, oh, I decided to do this other test because the school said it was okay, or I started with, and then they're like, oh, and then I applied to this hospital, and the hospital's like, what's your IELTS score? So I had to go back and do IELTS anyway. IELTS is IELTS, Ghazi, right? So IELTS means International English Language Testing System, right? It is what it is. Yeah, exactly.
The most important, based on my experience when I did Selban, I find it is the best one.
Yeah, it's the one that opens the most doors, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So eventually, it's a good idea to do it. Even if you don't do it right away, it's a good idea to eventually do it. So good for you, Ghazi.
Yeah, thank you.
Ghazi, I'm happy to hear that you're doing well. The family is okay. Kids are doing well.
Yeah, they are okay now. They come back to their school, so
they went back.
Okay.
Went back to school.
They went back. Yeah. So.
Okay. And so you're still in New Brunswick.
No, in Newfoundland.
Oh, Newfoundland,
Labrador,
sorry.
actually.
Newfoundland, Labrador. Yeah. All right. Okay. It's a beautiful place, I've heard. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I like it, especially in the fall. But soon the snow will start. A lot of snow here. Start in November, usually.
You got to learn to ski and sled. Those are fun activities.
Yeah, I adapted the weather now. That was in the first year the big challenge, but now it's fine. Yeah, I like it now.
Great. Ghazi,
Yeah.
help us out here with a bit of reading. So I've got paragraph B up for
Yeah.
us. Can you read B for us when you see it, just nice and loud?
Yeah, okay, sure. The word philosophy derives from the Greek for love of wisdom, just as it was in ancient Greece. As those people who love wisdom, knowledge, and truth who study philosophy. However, we do not live in ancient Greece, where people had slaves to do all of their chores, such as working in the field. So, what places does philosophy have in today's society?
Okay. What is this paragraph about in a very simple way?
Yeah, I see here we talk in the ancient Greece and maybe the original of the philosophy
Okay, kind of. You're close.
or the
Very good.
meaning of philosophy,
Very good.
love
Very good.
and wisdom, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Meaning of philosophy. So keep it simple, right?
Yeah,
That's the key here. The meaning
yeah,
of philosophy.
mm,
The meaning of philosophy and value today, right? So at the end it
yeah.
says, what value does philosophy have today? So the meaning of philosophy and the value it has today. That's what this paragraph is
Okay,
asking about, right? Okay,
yeah,
Ghazi, which one of these choices, you'll see them in a couple of seconds on the screen in front of you, which one of these
yeah.
choices is the closest match to what you just told me, the meaning and the value of philosophy today? So reasons as the basis of knowledge, the relation between reason and math,
Yeah,
the
I
end
see the
goal,
list.
the end goal of empirical pursuits, is Socrates man or mortal, philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth, math versus reason, the differences, using the right tool, a central debate in education, the lack of practicality as philosophy's downfall, the value of education in practice, purity as beauty. Which one do you think is the closest to the meaning and the value of philosophy out of these?
Okay, based on the list, on this list, we'll see what education. No, no. So the last one, what the last one? Just excuse me,
The last
Adrian.
ones
No,
are there.
no, just need to read it. I
And
cannot see it
yeah, I
very well.
brought it up on the screen. And members, also try to give your answers here. So don't be shy. It's okay to make mistakes. What do you think is the correct answer here? Which Roman numeral?
Okay, we'll see.
Okay,
I think,
let's see
here the
what you come
meaning.
up with.
We looking for the meaning of the philosophy and
There's one
the
that's close.
volume. No, it's not this one. The volume. It's not the value of education, but it's the lack of
Anybody?
no, it's not here. I see something in the beginning, maybe. The value of education and practice, but there's no education. Wait.
Okay, Fuang says maybe it's number 5,
Mm.
philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth. Is that a definition, number 5? Philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth?
Uh, I cannot see it. Okay, the philosophy is the process of knowledge. Yeah, that is the truth. It means, yeah, that's the definition, maybe. For
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
There, you just
yeah,
said it. That
yeah,
was the key word. You said that
yeah,
is the definition, maybe, right? The love
yeah,
of wisdom. The love
yeah,
of wisdom is our pursuit of
yeah,
truth
yeah,
and knowledge, right? So,
yeah,
wisdom, what is wisdom? Wisdom is the pursuit of knowledge and truth, right? That's what we consider
yeah,
wisdom. So, good job by Fong as well. She realized that, wait a second, the main focus here is the definition
yeah,
of philosophy, and philosophy as the means philosophy is the pursuit of knowledge and truth. So you just stick to your answer and you'll figure it out. And that was really good. So yeah, definitely it's Roman numeral
Yeah,
number
just
5.
confusing between the main list of heading and the explanations for them. So
Yeah, don't pay
kind
attention
of
to the underlined parts.
yeah.
Yep. But also, if you look at that, it's still correct. So philosophy as the study for gaining understanding of reality, that would also be the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom. Absolutely. So it's number 5.
Okay.
All right, Ghazi. So when are you sitting the IELTS exam? Do you have a date?
Yeah, so I plan as soon as possible. They ask me to complete my registrations to get the license maybe a month from now, like that. So,
Okay. So lots of attendance, lots of practice. Okay, Ghazi?
yeah, sure. Yeah, I want to join to the special group if you have a special or intensive course like that. So yeah,
That
I need it as soon as possible, you know.
That is going to be up to you, but I can definitely guide you, Ghazi, on how to increase the intensity of your studies. What I recommend you do is send me an email. Tell me what you need to do, what your plan is, and then I will respond and give you detailed instructions on how to plan your studies so you can get that score that you need, okay?
Sure, I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ghazi, I'm looking forward to helping you and seeing you in class. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Adrian. See you later.
Bye
Bye.
for now. All right, good. Yes. All roads lead to IELTS, everybody. Okay. Domenico, I know you've got a test coming up soon, and I told you that I would give you a chance if I see you in here. Are you ready? Domenico is a hardworking student of ours who I think has the exam like tomorrow or something like that. So, Domenico, if you're there, give me a sign, and then we'll connect and go through some of this reading. Thank you for all the thumbs up for Ghazi, everybody. That's great. Supporting each other is so important. Domenico, absolutely. Okay. So important. Domenico, absolutely.
Hello,
Hi, Domenico. How are you?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I
Well,
am. I'm hopped
yeah,
up. I'm hopped up on coffee, so I'm doing great right now.
yeah, it wouldn't believe it if I told you that I'm getting ready for my trip to Dublin. I'm leaving on the 18th of September. My exam takes place on the 23rd of September.
So
I had a mock test, a mock speaking test 2 days ago,
mhm.
and I pulled off a dazzling display, a dazzling speaking performance because I managed to come up with quite intricate collocations. I left the practice examiner jaw dropping.
Good for you, Domenico. So you're leaving
Yeah.
on Monday. You're off to Dublin on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, just keep coming back. You said it's on the 23rd, so you'll have a
My mother has been bothering me about preparing my suitcase, but it doesn't take me longer to cram a few bits and bobs into my suitcase.
yeah. Just wear some
another-
warm clothes. It's going to be colder. It's going to be colder than Sicily, so make sure you bring some sweaters with you for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Domenico, well, let's jump in. So lots of good, hard,
sure.
focused study, right? So, Domenico, you're going to see paragraph C here up on the screen. Whenever you're ready, go for it. Read C for us.
It's if philosophies if well sorry can you scroll up?
Mm-hmm.
Can you scroll up? Oh. If philosophy teaches anything, it teaches the ability to reason. With reason, one can construct, analyze, and find faults in arguments. For example, if all men are mortal and Socrates is mortal, is Socrates a man? What if we change the question to if all men are mortal and Socrates is a man, is Socrates mortal? Once a student is schooled in the ability to reason, he will see right away that these two questions are very different. As it turns out, the first is an invalid argument, while the second is much valid. Perhaps the next question of the skeptic is, what is the value of reason? This is a very important question. Surely, if philosophy is all about learning to reason, then an ability to reason must be a valuable trait. Arguably, the ability to reason forms the foundation for all knowledge.
All right. What is this paragraph about?
So the paragraph is all about the ability to reason.
Yeah, perfect. The paragraph is all about the ability to reason. Very good. I love it. Just that. The paragraph is all about the ability to reason. Good. Okay. Which one of these choices matches the closest to what this paragraph is saying? You should be able to get it pretty quick here, Domenico, I think.
Reason as the ability for reason as the basis for knowledge.
Does that one look good?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay.
Reason as the basis for knowledge.
Good, excellent. Yeah, and it is the right answer. Now, just a warning to everybody, when you're doing the IELTS exam and you have this situation like Domenico where he's like, okay, this paragraph is about the importance of reason and science and knowledge and truth. And then, oh, reason as the basis of knowledge, that looks really good. And then, so you put in 1 and you're like, okay, that's 1. I'm sure about it. It is the right answer in this case. In the real test, Domenico, always do read all of the options because sometimes you might see one that's even better.
I did when I practice at I usually have a look. I look through all the questions.
Good.
I take a look through all the questions and then I decide.
Smart. Yeah, because then you're making sure that you choose the best answer. Right? Yeah. And you're choosing the best answer because sometimes you have a good answer and then you have an even better answer, right?
Yeah, so I just went straight to the correct answer because I grasped the main concept, the main idea of the paragraph. So
yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't go wrong with it.
Yeah, that one was very, very clear. Definitely, it's a good idea to check all of them. All right, Domenico, have an awesome rest of your day. I hope you take the next class as well. And then I'll continue to look for you as you're getting closer to your test on the 23rd, okay?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, sir.
You are very welcome. Good studies and a good flight on Monday, Domenico, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, bye, Domenico.
At the same time, I'm excited.
Awesome. I'm excited for you, Domenico. Okay, we'll talk again soon. Bye, Domenico.
Bye.
All right, that was Domenico. Thumbs up to him. He's great. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have here? Thu, let's circle back. Give Thu a chance here. Hi, Thu. Are you ready? Okay, Thu, we're circling back. You're new. You know, you're figuring out the system here. It's all good. All right. Yes. Hi, Thu.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing great now.
Awesome. This is your first time volunteering, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I have just registered your course 2 days ago.
Awesome. You've registered for the course. Now you subscribed as a member to the channel. Now here you are volunteering. You're doing all of your steps right to get a good score on your IELTS. Good for you, Thu. Thu, can you tell us where you are? I'm
I'm
guessing
from
you're in.
Vietnam.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm guessing you're from Vietnam. What part of Vietnam?
In the north, in the north of Vietnam.
In the north part. May I ask which city?
Uh, in Thanh Hóa province. It's near the north.
Okay, all right. The reason I ask is we have quite a few Vietnamese students, like Phuong, for example, or Constellation, and it's kind of, interesting to find out. Maybe you're neighbors with Constellation. You never know. All right. Thu, why are
Yes,
you
I've seen that.
why are you taking the IELTS?
I take it for the university.
Yeah, Vietnamese universities require IELTS, right?
Yes, not all of that, but I need to.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's the international language of tourism and business, so it's definitely a good idea. Well, Thu, I'm here to help you. Let's work through some questions together. So I'm bringing up paragraph D on the screen so you can see it on YouTube. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and read D for us, okay?
Okay. If an individual has an opinion which is believed wrong or incorrect, it could be important to convince them of right opinion. There are a number of ways to attempt this. This can be intimidated, belittled, or bullied into accepting the opposite opinion. However, having a strong opinion doesn't mean the opinion is any more correct. Many people have strong opinions on all manners of subjects, but of course, the strength of feeling doesn't correspond to validity, and it follows that someone who belittles another's opinion is not necessarily the one in the right. When two men engage in a fist fight over whose opinion is correct, the winner of the fight may not have the correct opinion, but merely the correct fighting technique. In any disagreement, the right tools must be employed. In a battle of brawn, the tool is strength. In a battle of wills, the tool is perseverance. In a battle of word, the tool is reason. When arguing with reason, facts of the matter are stated and conclusions are drawn from those facts accordingly.
Very nice. And now in the real exam, when you have a list of headings in your head right away, you ask yourself, what is this paragraph about? And you answer that question. So, Thu, what is this paragraph about?
Oh,
In a simple way. What is this paragraph about?
I think it's the purpose of reason.
What is it? What is the purpose of reason?
To convince people to believe in you.
To convince people to believe in me? Moi? Maybe, Thu, maybe. Okay, here. I'll give you a little tip or a little trick to pay attention to. When you have a paragraph and in that paragraph there's a word that keeps repeating again and again and again, you really have to pay special attention to that word because that repeating word has something to do with what the paragraph is about. There's one word in this paragraph, or a couple words, that repeat multiple times. What is a word that repeats multiple times in this paragraph?
I think it's tool.
Exactly. Okay. So that word tool repeats again and again and again and again, right? So you have to immediately, a light bulb should go off on your head. It's not always true, but usually it is, that it has some kind of a connection to tool. Why is that word used? What is the author using this word for, the tool? What are they trying to tell the reader?
in some situation, maybe
Mm-hmm.
the tool.
Mm-hmm. What about the tool? You're right. So in some situations, or not in some, but in every situation, a person must use the
I use the tool.
right
tool.
tool, right? The right tool. So you have to use the right tool for the situation. So if you're in a fight, use strength. If you're in an argument, use words, right? So use the right tool. Okay, so it's the purpose of reason. The purpose of reason is the correct tool in arguments, correct? Yeah. So
Yes.
if you don't get it the first time, you have to be careful. And this is where, at home, you really want to make sure that you're getting the right concept of each paragraph. Have a look at the choices and see which one matches to using the right tool for a situation. So first one, reason as the basis for knowledge. We just had that with Domenico. The relations between reason and math. The end goals of empirical pursuits. Is Socrates a man or a mortal? Philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth. Math versus reason, the differences. Using the right tool. A central debate in education. The lack of practicality. Which one do you think it is?
It's 7.
Yeah, using the right tool, correct? Now that one, funnily enough, is the answer that's given to us. So when we figure out the given answer, we know that we're thinking correctly. So here's an interesting trick that you can use on the IELTS exam, Thu. When you see a list of headings questions, try not to look at the answer that they give you. They always give you an example, like in this case here, where they give you this one. In the real exam, they're going to do the same. They're going to give you an example. The trick is don't look at the example that they give you. Try to figure that one out too as you're reading, okay? Because if you get it correct, then you know that your thinking is correct. If you get it wrong, you have to stop and think, what am I doing wrong here? What am I not paying attention to? I'm missing something, okay?
Okay.
And then here in this case, you might realize like, oh, maybe I wasn't paying attention to the repeating words. I should have paid more attention to the word tool, right? Does that make sense? Let's try one more. This is a shorty, so it's good. I'll bring up paragraph E. Thu, whenever you're ready and you see paragraph E, go ahead and read it. Okay? You should.
Mimi told me to read this.
Yeah, go for E.
Reason is fundamental to almost every intellectual endeavor one can imagine, just as mathematics is fundamental to almost every scientific endeavor. Maths is the language of science, just as reason is the language of discourse and debate. Accordingly, just as society needs experts in mathematics, so society needs experts in reason. The argument should follow that we all learn mathematics as children and young adults, so we should learn the precepts of reason.
Precepts means like the concepts, the understanding. Okay, so what is this paragraph about?
I think it's connection between math and reason.
I agree 100%. What is the connection? What's the connection? It's a really simple one. They are both very important, and people should learn them, right? So keep it simple, Thu. What's the relation or what's the connection between math and reason? They're both very important. Math is important for logic and understanding numbers and science, and reason is important for understanding arguments and logic as well. So in words, right? So that's the connection. They're both very important for understanding the world around us. So you're right. The answer here is the connection between maths and reason. So which of these choices is the closest match? have a look at the list again. So 1, reason as the basis for knowledge. 2, the relation between reason and maths. 3, the end goal of empirical pursuits. 4, is Socrates man or mortal? 5, philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth. 6, maths versus reason, the differences. 7, using the right tool. 8, essential debate in education. 9, the lack of practicality as philosophy's downfall. 10, the value of education and practice. Or 11, purity as beauty. Which one do you think it is?
I would choose 2.
Good for you, and that's the right answer. Yeah, absolutely. One of the wrong answers that a lot of people might choose is math versus reason, the differences. Why is that a wrong answer?
Because in this essay, they talk about the same thing of both.
Yeah, the similarities, not the differences, right? Or what are emphasized. Absolutely. So number 2 is the correct answer. Thu, you're definitely on the right track, okay? You're thinking about it correctly. Now make sure to practice these type of questions where you don't have a guide like me kind of showing you. And then make sure to use your premium course every single day and join these live classes as much as possible, okay?
Okay.
All right, Thu, well, welcome to our merry band of IELTS learners. Send me an email. I think those exclusive videos, you already have them because they're in your premium package, but definitely being a premium member now, you can join these chats, and there are lots of other perks. You can request classes as well. So if you have a question and you want to request it for like task 1 or task 2 writing, just send an email, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. Thu, it was lovely meeting you, and I hope to speak to you again. Have an awesome rest of your day.
Thank you.
Okay, bye, Thu.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Thu. Lovely to have her on board. Obviously, very studious. Excellent. Students, chat interface, continue using it. It's for all of you to use with each other. It's free. The website is aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Definitely check us out there. Join the premium version of the course like Thu and many others. You will benefit greatly, as you can see. Just click that button. For general IELTS, gieltshelp.com. I have saved the rest of the questions for you. So I saved this last question, paragraph F, the conclusion, for you to do, and you are definitely encouraged to do or answer the other questions, this summary completion and these multiple choice questions as well. You can send your answers to me at adrian@aehelp.com, and I will send you the answer key so you can see if you're using these strategies correctly. Okay. In 30 minutes, we will have another class coming up. That will be a task 1 class, and it was a request by one of our members. It's a table that appeared on an IELTS exam, or it's a similar kind of table that appeared on an IELTS exam a couple of weeks ago. And so this student had that exam and said, hey, can I just see what's going on? How should I write an essay for that? So aehelp.com, gieltshelp.com. We will look at that task 1 table question in the next class, subscribers chat class. So be sure to subscribe. I'll be back in 30 minutes. Amra, Carolina, love you guys. You're doing a great job. Domenico, Anahita, Ghazi, Fuang, Constellations. So nice, Thu, to have all you members with me supporting, learning together. It just makes it so much more fun. Hopefully everybody will be back in half an hour. I know I will be. I'll see you here. I'm signing out from Victoria, Canada for now. Much love. Bye, everybody.